everyone, it's Laura from Laura's Handcrafted Treats and Treasures. Welcome to or back to my channel. All right, I am coming on here with sort of part 2 of pockets. Only this one I'm going to add this writing spot. Now in the last video I did show you this, but I'm going to show you how to put it together. Pam also does this, so I will link this particular one if I didn't do it in the last one in my description box. But first I wanted to show you this. So if you're a longtime crafter, I've never really was a scrapbooker. I tried it for a minute. I think I said it in the last one. It just wasn't for me. Maybe not. I did a few scrapbook pages, but yeah, it just wasn't for me. But when I got into junk journaling and all of that I knew that was it. And I've done it for many years now. But you know, we all buy these paper pads, and this one was 180 paper pack, and I have had this thing, you know, gosh, at least 10 or 15 years, because it was one of the first packs. I was always looking for a value. So, you know, what the best bang for my buck. And I still have this paper pack. Well, this just is sitting around, and I'm trying to find ways to use up my papers. I just don't need all these hanging around anymore. So I came up with this. So what I did was I cut all of these down to 8.5 by 11. And then I went and ran them through my printer so that I would have something on the back. Now I have several more to do, but I just did a few for the moment. It was getting later at night, so I didn't want to sit around and wait for papers to print, because I just don't leave my stuff printing and without being attended to. Anyway, this is what I've done, because I thought, well, this would be good for this part of the journal, or the little writing spaces, and it would help me use up the paper. So we're gonna do one of these today. I'm gonna show you what I did, and then again, Pam already went through this on hers, but I'm going to show you what I did using these, and I have other ideas for these. Along with these, I had many of these strips that, you know, were left over from the 12 by 12. That's fine. I'm going to use those. And then I have a lot of the little strips here, and there are ways to use those up too. So I didn't just toss them and throw them away. This is why we have so many paper scraps, right? Because we just don't want to get rid of anything. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is take this piece of paper, this scrapbook. It's already covered on the back. I don't like stark white, so I wanted to make sure it was covered. And I also, these weren't exact because I just folded them, but I wanted to make exact measurements for my prototype. I know I could just do them, but I like exact measurements. I like to look at it and know exactly what I have to cut for each sheet. I don't have to worry about, you know, is it, you know, all spaced evenly around the edges. It will be if I cut all my papers right. So the first one I'm cutting, because this is going to be my bottom piece, and you can do these in any order that you want, but this one is going to be my bottom piece. So I am going to cut this at 7.5 by 7.5, and this fits into just about any journal that I do, because the journals itself, I think, are 8. Yeah, 8 when you finally get them trimmed off by 5. So this ended up being, you know, almost 4 across. It's going to end up being 4 across because I changed the measurements a little bit. So it'll fit in just about any journal I do. Of course, you can cut these down and make them half sizes. When you put them in your journal, if you had a half size one, you could use the back as a pocket and still use these as writing spots. Anyway, let your mind just go wild. So I'm going to go with my first one, 7.5. And then again, I'm not going to get rid of this strip because it can be used. It can be used for a cluster, a belly band combination. It can be used by 7 1/2. Okay, and I'm also going to save this because I have ideas for that. So there is my first page. Okay. And then I'm going to do my second page, and I wanted to use the music paper. Now you can use book pages depending on the height, and you can put them this way, which is okay. I'm not against that. I just like everything to be lined up in order, I guess. I don't know how else to say it. So this one is going to be going across this way. It's going to be 6 1/2. I'm going to cut this end off. Get rid of some of that white. So 6 1/2. Or you can tear it with a tear ruler. It would give it, you know, choppy edges which would still look cool in the book. And then this is 7. But I think I'm going to go chop a little from the top. And then do this 7. Okay, and there is my second one. Now I will have to go in and put paper in this one. I won't in these because I already ran them through my printer with a background. But there's that one. Now this one is from Amanda Charlesworth at Create with Scrimping Mommy. And I think it was a freebie on her Facebook page. I'm pretty sure it was a freebie, but anyhow, I'm finding them very useful. Thank you, Amanda, if you happen to watch this. I'm using them in a lot of different stuff. So this one is going to be 5 1/2, and I put my little arrow, so I knew it had to be 5 1/2 this way. So 5 1/2, and I'm not going to throw that away. I can use it by 6 1/2, and I want to keep that top. Not that you're going to see most of it, but did I cut that wrong? No, I didn't cut that wrong. By 6 1/2. And I'm going to keep that piece. So now I have my stack. Okay, so it's just as simple as, let's see, folding. And this one's even, so 7 1/2 by 7 1/2. Make sure your picture is going the right way. Okay, I'm going to fold that one. This one's going to go on top of that one. And see how that kind of has that little jaggedy edge? That's okay with me. So that's going on that one. And then this on this one. All right. I also liked the edges rounded. So I'm going to go ahead and round all those with my chopper. My crocodile. And did I do the small one? I think I did the small one. Either one's fine. So there's 1/4 inch and a half. So which one did I do? Yeah, I think that was the one I did. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of those, and then I'm going to ink them up and move on to the next step. So when you ink, obviously you're going to see all of the front, so you don't have to ink the back. But I wanted the inside inked, all of it, because you will see that crease. So I'm going to do all of it. Okay, so I have them all inked up and ready to go, but in the middle piece, I'm going to need some lined paper for writing. I am going to, it's 7 long, so I'm going to do 6 3/4, just so there's a small little border. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 3/4. And I'm just going to use my ruler to tear this and see if that's the height I want. get that middle one back out. And yep. And then it was 3 1/4 across. So I'm going to rip this down to 3. Let's see. 3 on this side. And then I'll do 3 on this side. Again, can be used. Now this one already had the chomper, kind of the chomper marks in it at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and use the chomper. Well, it's not. Sometimes on thinner paper, the chomper doesn't seem to want to work. So I'm going to use this one. And if not, I'll just round it with my scissors. Yeah, that works a little bit better. And I want this side. So I'm turning it over so I don't get the red line. So I'm making sure I do this side. So when I glue them in, then my corners will be where I want them. So I'm going to go ahead and ink those up as well. And for this, I'm just going to use my Scotch. I just got a new one of these out. I notice when you get down to the end of the old ones, I don't know, they just don't seem, they just get a little hard, I guess, and they don't seem to stick quite as well because I've had to go back and glue a few things down. All right, so I'm just going to try to line that up best I can. It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't want it to be perfect. Okay. And then we'll do this side. Over by the line, but not right on the line. Oh, let's move that over just a little bit more. Not happy with that. Okay, that's good. All right. And now it's just a matter of, better wait till that dries before I put that together. It'll stick to itself. So now it's just a matter of putting your stacks on top of each other. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, one thing you can do as well, if you want to put your little tabs on before, you can, but I just put them on after. I just lined them up to the edge and put them on after, or you don't have to have tabs at all. And there we go. I also keep just a little drawer of all kinds of different little tabs. When I have scrap paper and stuff, I'll go through them and just start to, I have a little die cut set, so maybe I'll put that one over there. And then I'll put, let's see, I like that one. Put this one over on the second one, or maybe the first one because it's darker. And then what else? I don't want to use that because it's too light. Maybe this one, or is it too dark? Or just this one. That'd be interesting. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get them tabs on. And then of course you can always just decorate the front. my tabs are all on, and then I went and got my little clusters, which these are what I'm talking about with all your scraps. You can make little clusters just to go on things like this, and it will help hold this page down as well. But let's see, that's pretty cool. Oh, that's even longer. I like that one. Oh, I like that one. Oh, Precious Memories. Oh, yeah, we're gonna do that one. These are super fun to make too. I have a lot, so I'm not going to make any more of those for a while because I'm working on other stuff. But these are also things that you can make with your extra pieces. So I'll go ahead and put that on. All right, let's put that right about in the middle. And that is finished. It's so cute. Do you love it? I love it. All right, so when you get ready to put it in your journal, here you go. You have an extra journaling spot. Place it in there. Glue that back side down, and then you've got, yeah, more journaling. So cute. I love these. All right, so I'm going to get busy doing a bunch of these. But what else am I going to do with that paper that I'm trying to use up? All right, we got that one out of the way. So I have 2 of them now. I'll keep one for a prototype, or I'll make another one because I really like that. Now I want to use it in a journal. So I'll make one that isn't with all the papers. All right, so here's what else I'm going to do. So we had these long strips, and I thought, and this has probably been done before, but what I did was I just took my long strip like this, just like this, and then I just started to kind of fold it up to make pockets. Okay, now this part up here is pretty flimsy, and when I put it in my book, I want to be able to put a tag down the back side here and here. So all I did was I just glued a piece of heavier, like cardstock. In fact, I'll just do that real quick. And of course I inked up all the edges, and I'm not going to do that on camera, but I inked up all the edges. I can go back and do it later before I fold everything in and glue it. So I just did this. I think I got, hate getting glue on my mat. Oh. Okay. Because I didn't realize I glued way too much that I didn't need to. Anywho, so I just did that, trimmed it off. Rounded the top. And then I'll go back and ink all of this up, and then I will glue just down these edges on each side to fold up. Same here to fold up, and came up with that. This probably is not anything new. In fact, Pam might have been the one that she might have done it on hers. I don't know, but I was just fooling around with the paper. And then same thing with the smaller pieces. So then I ended up with a bunch of these, and I'm like, well, I can do the same thing. So I can make just the single pocket and the pocket on the back side. So there's that one. And then another thing you can do because we have all this extra paper, is just make some single pockets. So kind of like I did with the book pages, just literally make some of these, and you can use them singly in your book. Just, you know, pop one on the edge here, or you can just do one, oh, where'd it go? You can do one up here, one down here, or you can take them and, oh God, I'm sorry if I'm out of shot. So you can do one here, one up here, or you can stack them. And then you've got pockets, only glue down the edges, these side edges and this bottom, but then that way your tag would go all the way through. And it just makes it for a longer tag. So that's what I did with some of them, and super easy. All I did was fold them. Now this one I didn't really do any measuring. I just kind of laid the one next to it that I wanted to do that with, and literally just folded it in half. I trimmed it, and I think I got, you can get maybe 2 out of here. You can get a smaller one if you want. And then I inked up my edges. Just one side. You don't need to do the back side because it's going to be laying down. Is that upright? You have to decide which side you want, obviously. Well, that's upside down, so I have to use this side because that would bug me. And then I just took my glue and I put more at the top because that's where I'm going to put that notch, and glued it down. Let's see if I can freestyle this one. If you watched my last video, you know I'm not very good at getting this centered, but let's see what I can do here. Okay. I don't know why. I always have to put a mark there because I'm just not very good at it. Oh, that one came out okay. All right. And then there you have a pocket you can use. So that's what I did with some of that. What else? Let's see. Let's see how long this video is, and I have a couple more. If this one's a bit long, I'm going to show you in the next video what I do with more of the little pieces of that paper. So I may be back, or this may be the end. We'll see.